Imagine standing at a checkout counter, the air smelling of fresh ground coffee and floor wax. It is 1980. You place a crisp $100 bill on the conveyor belt. That single piece of paper doesn't just buy you groceries. It buys you a feast. It buys you security. It buys you a cart so heavy with food that one of the wheels starts to wobble under the weight. Now, snap your fingers. You are standing in the same spot in 2026. You hold that same $100 bill, but this time, you aren't struggling to push a cart. You are holding a plastic handbasket that isn't even full. The difference isn't just math. It is a fundamental shift in the American way of life that happened right under our noses. To understand what we have lost, we have to go back to the aisles of 1980. The grocery store was a different world then. It wasn't just about the prices. It was the sheer physical volume of what money could command. With $100 in your pocket, you were the king of the supermarket. You walked past the butcher counter, real butcher counter, where a person in a white apron wrapped cuts of meat in pink paper and you didn't hesitate. You loaded up 5 pounds of ground beef, a pot roast for Sunday, thick-cut bacon, maybe even a couple of steaks for the grill. The meat alone might cost you $20 or $25, leaving you with 75% of your budget intact. You would continue down the aisles, grabbing the essentials without doing mental gymnastics. A gallon of milk was barely over $1. A dozen eggs cost less than $1 bill. You could fill the bottom rack of the cart with 10-pound bags of potatoes, onions, and flour. You threw in the extras without a second thought: brand name cereals, a tin of coffee, a box of donuts from the bakery. You could even grab non-food items, a magazine from the rack, a pack of batteries, maybe a new skillet on sale in aisle 4. When you finally reached the register, the cashier punched the keys manually. Clack, 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 and the total climbed slowly. When you handed over that $100, you got change back. You walked out with 2 carts full of brown paper bags, enough to feed a family of 4 for 2 weeks, maybe 3. Fast forward 46 years. The lighting is brighter, the floors are shinier, and the checkout is likely a self-service kiosk that barks orders at you. You walk in with that same $100 limit. The psychological shift hits you immediately in the produce section. You pick up a bag of apples and a sack of potatoes, and you are already down $15. You approach the meat department, but this time you hesitate. A family pack of ground beef and a modest package of chicken breasts can easily swallow $30 of your budget. You haven't even left the perimeter of the store, and half your money is gone. As you move into the center aisles, you encounter the silent thief of the modern era. In 1980, a bag of chips was a bag of chips. In 2026, you pay $5 for a bag that is mostly nitrogen, hiding a few ounces of snack at the bottom. The cereal boxes look the same from the front, but they are thinner, holding fewer servings for double or triple the price. You grab the absolute necessities: milk, eggs, a loaf of bread, maybe some pasta, and sauce. You verify the price of the eggs because you've seen them fluctuate wildly in the last few years. You skip the bakery. You skip the magazines. You definitely don't grab a random skillet. By the time you reach the scanner, the anxiety sets in. You watch the screen as the numbers jump up in increments that feel punishing. $10, $40, $80. You have fewer than 20 items in your basket. You haven't bought a feast. You have bought survival for a few days. The beep of the scanner feels like a countdown timer on your bank account. When the total hits $98, you stop. You look at the pitiful pile of goods. There is no overflow. There is no feeling of abundance. The contrast between these 2 shopping trips reveals something deeper than just inflation statistics. In 1980, the grocery store was a place of possibility. The middle class could walk in and feel wealthy, even if just for an hour. Food was a given. Today, the grocery store is a place of calculation and compromise. It is where we confront the eroding value of our labor. We stand in the aisle deciding between the quality meat or the budget brand. Not because we want to, but because the math demands it. We often talk about the good old days with rose-colored glasses. But when you look at the raw purchasing power of a $100 bill, the nostalgia is justified. We didn't just lose cheap eggs and milk. We lost the feeling of walking out of a store with our arms full and our minds at ease. We traded overflowing carts for carefully curated baskets, and in doing so, we quietly accepted a world where the most basic human necessity, food, became a luxury we have to budget for, So the next time you tap your card and wince at the total, remember that it isn't just you, and it isn't just the economy changing naturally. It is the slow, steady evaporation of value. We are working harder to fill a basket that keeps getting lighter, chasing a ghost of abundance that we used to take for granted. And it leaves you wondering, if $100 bought a lifestyle in 1980 and barely buys a weekend of meals in 2026, what will be left in the basket 10 years from now?